大家好，今天我们继续上一次的阅读。今天我们主要看四个部分。第一部分是起源 （Modern Cuisine），就是现代的烹饪的起源。另外，我们看两个厨师，一个叫Carami，我不太确定这个发音，这是一个法国人。另外一个叫 Escoffier，这个人相对更有名一些。然后我们看一看 Modern Technology， 这个里面就泛泛的说一些现代常用的烹饪技巧和方法。我们开始。首先是 The Origins of Classical and Modern Cuisine， 就是传统的这种烹饪和现代的烹饪，我们都要说它起源。这里边应该是从我们看看吧。Quantity cookery has existed for thousands of years, as long as there have been large groups of people to feed, such as armies. But modern food service is said to have begun shortly after the middle of the 18th century. At this time, food production in France was controlled by guilds. 我不知道这个 guilds 什么意思啊。Caterers, pastry makers, roasters, and pork butchers had lessons to prepare specific items. 这个时候我们看，就是从大概18世纪开始的话，这种所有的食物的供应商，还有这个甜点的供应商，还有包括这个烤肉的这种供应商，还有包括他这个屠宰的这个商人，他们都要有 license， 都要有这个执照，才能准备这种某一种指定的这种食物。这个就非常早了，因为现在的话，可能这个执照这个事情，都不是特别好弄。但是我们想看到在18世纪的时候，他们就已经有这个执照了。然后我们继续 ，An innkeeper, in order to serve a meal to guests, had to buy the various menu items from those operations licensed to provide them. Guests had little or no choice and similarly ate what was available for that meal. 这就是说，可能当时的人或者这个客人吧，他们都不太能或者喜欢自己做饭，这个大概可能是这个原因吧。就是说，所有的这个菜都是由这个餐厅来定的，客人没什么太多的选择，我是这样理解。或者说，餐厅在做菜的时候，他不会太照顾客人的感受，而是从他自己能得到哪些食材或者能做什么菜，然后去考虑的更多。现在的观念完全变了，现在观念就是客人想吃什么，我们做什么。In 1765, a Parisian named Balaguer began advertising on his shop sign that he served soups, which he called restaurants or restauratives. Literally, the word means fortifying. According to one version of the story, one of the dishes he served was sheep's feet in a cream sauce. The Guild of Stew Makers challenged him in court, but Boulanger won by claiming he didn't stew the feet in the sauce, but served them with the sauce. In challenging the rules of the guilds, Boulanger unwittingly changed the course of food service history. 我们看一下这个 guilds， 我还得查一下啊。这里看 a guild is an association of artisans or merchants who oversee the practice of their craft or trade in a particular area。 所以这个相当于一个协会，就是说这个协会它定了怎么样，所以所有的这个服务都遵守这个协会的规则。The new developments in food service received a great stimulus as a result of the French Revolution, beginning in 1789. Before this time, the great chefs were employed in the houses of the French nobility. With the revolution and the end of the monarchy, many chefs suddenly out of work opened restaurants in and around Paris to support themselves. Furthermore, the revolution government abolished the guilds. Restaurants and inns could serve dinners reflecting the talent and creativity of their own chefs rather than being forced to rely on licensed caterers to supply their food. At the start of the French Revolution, there were about 50 restaurants in Paris. 10 years later, there were about 500. 所以我们看这儿的话，最开始的起源还是从法国呀。当时最开始法国的那些做饭的厨师主要是这个皇家或者说王室去服务，然后之后呢，这个王室解散了，法国大革命之后，对吧？这些人这些厨师不能给他们继续去做饭了，所以他们就自己相当于自谋生路。自谋生路的话，就开自己的这个餐厅啊。与此同时呢，这个 guild 就是他们的协会也被解散了，被这政府解散了。解散之后呢，新的政策就是要求这些厨师可以根据自己餐厅的需要自己去做饭，没有人去强迫他们了。然后最开始的话，他们只有50个餐厅，但是10年之后，就将近1800年前后了，就大概有500个这种餐厅了。然后我们看下一个 ，Another important invention that changed the organization of kitchens in the 18th century was the stove or potager, which gave cooks a more practical and controllable heat source than open fire. 所以说这个炉子在西方的话，在欧洲的话是18世纪才被发明。以前他们都是 open fire。 什么叫 open fire？ 就是在我们可以想象就是篝火一样的东西。以前他们都是在用木头烧火，然后在上面放一个盆来煮饭，直到他们发明了这个 stove， 就是这个炉子。Soon, commercial kitchen became divided into 3 departments: the rotisserie and the control of the meat chef or rotisserie, the oven under the control of the pastry chef or pâtissier, and the stove run by the cook or cuisinier. 所以说这个地方他就说这个厨房被分成了3种。第一种就是主要做肉的这个厨师。第二种呢就是主要做甜点或者面食的厨师。第三种呢就是主要就是炒菜的厨师吧，类似于这种在炉子上做这火工的厨师，他们叫 cuisinier。然后 the meat chef 和 pastry chef reported to the cuisinier, who was also known as the chef de cuisine, which means head of the kitchen. 所以说当时就是其实这个跟中国很像，就是中国的传统的厨房里边，就是炉灶上的那个厨师是他们那个第一个厨师，而且他还要分1灶2灶，那1灶那个厨师是最厉害的，就其他人所有人都要听他的。像这个最开始这个西方他们也是做肉的，准备肉食的，有点像准备肉食的这个厨师和准备面食的厨师都要听这个真正做饭的这个人，对吧？然后我们看下一段，就是介绍这个第一位重要的厨师了。 叫 carry me， 我们就这么叫吧，因为我也不知道叫什么，因为而且这个也不太重要，对于那个你真正做饭来讲，你不太重要。可能对历史学的学生比较重要吧。All the changes that took place in the world of cooking during the 1700s led to, for the first time, a difference between home cooking and professional cooking. One way we can try to understand this difference is to look at the work of the greatest chef of the period following the French Revolution. 所以说这个里面说一个时间点啊，就是法国大革命这个时间，应该是这个意思 ，French Revolution. As a young man, Karami learned all the branches of cooking quickly, and he dedicated his career to refining and organizing culinary techniques. His many books contain the first systematical account of cooking principles, recipes, and menu making. At a time when the interesting advances in cooking were happening in restaurants, Karami worked as a chef to wealthy patrons, kings, and heads of the state. Patron 这个词儿现在就是有点像那个背后的那种支持者，因为现在我看那个 YouTube 上有很多的那个 YouTuber， 他们希望你去捐钱，然后做他们的 patrons， 这是相当于资助者，有这个意思。He was perhaps the first real celebrity chef, and he became famous as the creator of elaborate, elegant display pieces and pastries. The ancestors of our modern wedding cakes, sugar sculptures, and ice and tallow carvings. But it was Karami's practical and theoretical work as an author and an inventor of recipes that was responsible to a large extent for bringing cooking out of the Middle Ages and into the modern period. 就是说，这里面说到一个中世纪，相当于这个厨师出现之后，就把整个中世纪的那种烹饪方法一下子改变了，然后带到了一个叫做 modern period， 就是一个现代社会，其实还是挺重要的，说明也可能另外一个方向说明那个中世纪那个欧洲还是比较黑暗吧，或者落后。Karami emphasized procedure and order， 这个地方很重要，就是说这个程序和这个顺序，包括这个级别，在厨房里是非常非常重要。His goal was to create more lightness and simplicity. The complex cuisine of the aristocracy called grand cuisine was still not much different from that of the Middle Age, and was anything but simple and light. 这个可能就是最之前的那种叫，应该是比较旧的那种 cuisine， 或者比较盛大的那种 cuisine 吧。这个就是中世纪的那种风格，所以我们可以想象一些那些电影里面拍那些中世纪城堡，他们吃饭会有什么呀？很多的盘子，很多的碗，很多的那个蜡烛，很多的花儿，但实际上那些东西都不是吃的，他们吃的东西可能非常简单，就是有很多那个虚的东西吧。Karami's efforts were a great step towards modern simplicity. The methods explained in his books were complex, but his aim was pure results. He added seasonings and other ingredients, not so much to add new flavors, but to highlight the flavors of the main ingredients. 这里面说的一个概念就是说，他提倡去给这个菜调味儿，并不是让你吃这个调味料的味儿，而是说通过调味之后加强原来的原料本身的味道。这个也是一直就是这个西餐的一个概念吧。他希望通过加一些调料，能增加你主料的那个味道，而不改变主料的味道。His sauces were designed to enhance or not cover up the food being sauced. Jeremy was a thoughtful chef, and whenever he changed a classic recipe, he was careful to explain his reasons for doing so. 这个也很搞笑，这个地方就是这个东西都流传到现在了，就是他无论做什么 recipe， 他一定要先解释一个清楚。对于我来说，我觉得这个真的不重要，我觉得你得先吃，先去尝适不适合你的口味。现在你看所有的这个西方社会里边这个烹饪比赛或者是饮食节目，他们所有的这个 chef 做完之后，先是不拉不拉不拉说一大套，然后呢，然后再让你去试吃。我觉得这个其实不太对，应该先让你去吃，然后让这个客户去发表感想，然后 chef 可以再去谈你做这个东西的意图是什么。但是从另外一个方向讲，如果这个 chef 先说了他这个意图的话，可以帮助就是树立这种 chef 甚至这个行业的形象，这是我个人的理解。因为作为这个服务业吧，很多人都肯定是看不起这个服务业，所以说你怎么能提高服务业这个形象和这个地位呢？你只能去设立一些门槛，甚至说你要有的时候要故弄玄虚，去增加一些东西，告诉别人我为什么说这个东西好，或者说我为什么能把这个东西做到一个很高明的一个程度，你要让别人去能理解，去能看到。我们接着看 ，Beginning with Karimi, a style of cooking developed that can truly be called international, because the same principles are still used by professional cooks around the world. Older styles of cooking, as well as much of today's home cooking, are based on tradition. In other words, a cook makes a dish a certain way because that is how it always has been done. In Karimi's grande cuisine, 这个 grande cuisine 我们还是查一下，这就是我们先暂停一下查一下。跟我想差不多是large 或者 great 意思，就还是比较盛大的这种 cuisine 嘛。In Karimi's grand cuisine and in professional cooking ever since, a cook makes a dish a certain way because the principles and methods of cooking show it is the best way to get the desired results. For example, for hundreds of years, cooks boiled meats before roasting them on a rotisserie in front of the fire. But when chefs began thinking and experimenting rather than just accepting the tradition of boiling meat before roasting, they realized either braising the meat or roasting it from the raw state were better option. 这个地方很有意思，因为这个地方就说那个 chef 很久之前在他发现这个烹饪肉的技巧之前，人们都是先把这个肉煮完之后再去烤或者煎，或者在火上煎。但后来呢，这个 chef 发现啊，很多的肉都是你直接煎可能更好，或者说直接小煮，就是这个 braising， 这里面有一些基本概念，一个叫 braising， 一个叫 roasting， 还有一个叫 boil 主要是水很多的煮， braising 是水很少的这个煮，还有这个 roasting 就是无水。我们之后会看叫 dry cook， 就是基本上没有水。但是他们发现这种可能会更好，就 better option。但是现在我最近又看一些视频，有一些人又恢复到很久之前那种烹饪方法了，又先用水煮完之后再煎。比如说我看到很多人用这个牛排都是这种方法，特别是苏味出现之后，他们先用牛排先煮在水里，煮完水里之后再煎，在表面上色呀之类的。所以说这个东西就是随时代变化的。这个时代人们爱是这样吃，那个时代人们那样吃，对吧？然后我们看一下第二个人叫 Escoffier， 这个人离我们更近，他是1847年到1935年，是这个时代的人，所以对现在这个西餐影响更大。 他全名叫George Auguste Escoffier，这个名字很长啊，但是我们一般就叫 Escoffier 就是可以了。The greatest chef of his time， 最伟大的厨师了。Is still revered by chefs and gourmets as the father of 20th century cookery。对，他就是20世纪的烹饪之父。His two main contributions were the simplification of classical cuisine and the classic menu, and the second, the reorganization of the kitchen。所以它最大的两个贡献呢，一个就是把这个厨房的烹饪和菜单简化，第二个就是重新组织了厨房。Escoffier rejected what he called the general confusion of the old menus, in which sheer quantity seemed to be the most important factor。 这个地方我们看一下，标记一下，什么叫 sheer quantity？ 我们看一下啊。这应该就是一个很小的一种这种量，就是数量。我们看后边怎么说 Instead, he called for order and diversities and emphasized the careful selection of one or two dishes per course. Dishes that follow one another harmoniously and delighted the taste with their delicacy and simplicity。他就说，传统的 menu 里边，传统的这种菜单里边，可能对细小的那个东西更重视。但是呢，他现在的话，他要说突出整个一个晚宴或者是一个中餐，中午的饭，不是中午饭或者晚饭，他要突出一两道菜，就是相当于说有主有次吧。然后这样他觉得是更和谐、更合适。Escoffier books and recipes are still important reference works for professional chefs. The basic cooking methods and preparations we study today are based on Escoffier's work. His book, Le Guide Culinaire, which is still widely used, arranges recipes in a simple system based on main ingredient and cooking method, greatly simplifying the more complex system handed down from Carame. Learning classic cooking, according to Escoffier, begins with learning a relatively few basic procedures and understanding basic ingredients. Escoffier's second major achievement, the reorganization of the kitchen, resulted in a streamlined workplace better suited to turning out the simplified dishes and menus he instituted 就是说，他先发明了这个菜单和这个叫什么，和这制作方法吧，然后又重新根据他这个菜单，他重新组织了厨房，让这个效率更高。The system of organization he established is still in use, especially in large hotels and full-service restaurants, as we discussed later in this chapter. 这里边为什么要说这个他重新组织厨房的贡献呢？就是说，比如说我们看中餐吧，他会看有几个灶，有几个人。西餐的话，它的灶要少很多，因为他们用很多的时候用烤箱，然后他人也相应的非常少。比如说，打比方说，你一个快餐厅，我说的快餐厅就是，比如说服务这个薯条啊，或者沙拉呀，或者是有一两个汤，有汉堡、有 burger、有鸡翅这种餐厅的话，它可能就一两个人，甚至说一个人。你像一个好的fine dining，它在线上的厨师，可能就所谓线上的就是 就是在台前服务的这些厨师的话，可能就4-5个人，5-6个人。当然了，他之前可能会有很多人去准备，但是真正服务的时候人非常少。但是中餐就不一样，中餐内你一个炉灶至少得有1个人，然后你凉菜的话也得有1-2个人，然后你还有其他的这些备菜的人。我觉得可能西餐的这个更省人，也可能跟这个它的有的技术比较简单可能相关系吧。这个地方我说的不太对啊，这个说的不太对，大家还是再自己考虑考虑。我们先读书吧。然后我们讲 modern technology， 就是我们看它现在流行的一种技术啊。Today's kitchens look much different from those of Escoffier's day, even though our basic cooking principles are the same. Also, the dishes we eat have gradually changed due to the innovations and the creativity of modern chefs. The process of simplification and refinement to which Caramy and Escoffield made monumental contributions is ongoing, adapting classic cooking to modern conditions and tastes. 它这个书面语很多有点拗口啊，所以我这词我也不认识，我们先标出来吧。Before we discuss the changes in cooking style that took place in the 20th century, let's look at some of the developments in technology that affected cooking. 这里边又讲了2个 cookbooks， 因为我们这个也不会用，所以我们就不说了，这个我们跳一下，因为跳一下我们后边还有3个部分，等于这个部分我们就讲完了。第一个部分是 development of new equipment， 就是讲这个设备。第二个部分是 development and availability of new food products， 讲的是这个原材料。第三个就是 food safety and nutritional awareness， 就是食品安全和营养学，这是离我们越来越近了。我们先看看它的这个设备的发展。Development of new equipment. We take for granted such basic equipment as gas and electric ranges, and ovens and electric refrigerators. But even these essential tools did not exist until fairly recently. The easily controller heated of modern cooking equipment, as well as motorized food cutters, mixers, and other processing equipment, has greatly simplified food production. 这边说几次我们一定要知道，就是 range 就是我们常说的那个炉子，就是一圈一圈的那种电炉子叫 range， 但是他们有火的有的也叫 range。这个词我不太常用，我一般叫 stove， 但是 stove 一般可能指整体的那个炉子。然后我们继续读啊 ，Research and technology continue to produce sophisticated tools for the kitchen. Some of these products, such as tilting skillet and steamed jacket kettles, can do many jobs and are popular in many kitchens. Others can perform specialized tasks rapidly and efficiently, but their usefulness depends on volume because of they are designed to do only a few jobs. 这里面还有几个设备说一下，一个叫 food cutter， 就是那种能旋转切东西的机器。比如说我们最常见的就是当我们吃那个涮羊肉的时候，那种冻的羊肉，我们在国内的话一般都用那个转的那种刀去切，叫 food cutter。然后还有 mixer 就是搅拌机，还有 food processor 搅拌机。这里边我们看一个 tilting skillets and steamed jacket kettles， 这2个是大型的机器，一般只有在酒店才会有，就是一种可以倾斜的大炒锅，或者是蒸汽的那种大锅，烧水那种大锅。这2个东西只是在酒店才会用到，或者是高级的特别大的那种餐厅才会用到，家庭上是用不到的。然后我们看下一段 Modern equipment has enabled many food service operations to change their production methods. With sophisticated cooling, freezing, and heating equipment, it is possible to prepare some foods further in advance and in large quantities. 这里边特别重要的要说就是我们要准备 prepare food in advance and in large quantities. 这个还是比较重要的，就是特别是我们在比如说我们家庭去采购的话，比如说像我们家是一般用2周，用2周那个食物怎么能提前制作，还有提前储存，这些都很重要。Some large multi-unit operations prepare food for all their units in a central commissary. The food is prepared in quantity, packaged, chilled, or frozen, and then heated or cooked to order in the individual units. 这边还有一个地方要说，就是 chilled and frozen， 就是很多那食物都是冻好的，就是你可以先把它做好，然后冻冰箱里，然后之后再热一下。不仅是家庭这样做，那个餐厅也是这样做的，而且不止那个街边小店是这样做，那个米其林也会这样做。那是最常用的保持食物的方法。Development and availability of new food products. Modern refrigeration and rapid transportation caused revolutionary changes in eating habits. For the first time, fresh foods of all kinds, meats, fish, vegetables, and fruits, became available throughout the year. Exotic delicacies can now be shipped from anywhere in the world and arrived fresh and in peak condition. 这边说一个很重要的观点，就是很多新鲜的食物，鱼类、肉类、蔬菜、水果，都可以在1年4季都可以得到。另外就是说，很多东西，比如说你在中国产的东西，你可能当天就能运到这个加拿大来。我之前看了一个视频，讲的是一个日本的sushi店，他每天早上从日本，然后用飞机运那个鱼到美国，保证它的鱼是新鲜的。但是我当时看完之后，我严重怀疑它是有问题，因为他每天的客人只接待8个人还是16个人，反正人很少，因为它是一个fine dining的，每个人大概300到400美金。但是它那个鱼的数量却非常多，如果它每天都用新鲜的，然后那个剩余的鱼，它就会有很多的富余的鱼，那个鱼它很难处理。所以这个地方就是说，我们可以这样做，但是对于餐厅来说，他们都会考虑成本的。让我们看下一段 ，The development of preservation techniques, not just refrigeration, but also freezing, canning, drying, vacuum packing, and irradiation increased the availability of most foods and made affordable some that were once rare and expensive. 这个地方我们要主要看一个这个 vacuum packing， 这个是最常用的一个技术，就是先把这东西 vacuum pack。用那个真空机把它的空气抽走，然后再冻起来。这个现在我们真空机也很普遍，我们在家也可以用。就是你新鲜的不一定是新鲜的了，它主要这个真空之后，一般都是做好的食物，比如说你炖了一块牛肉，或者是炒了一锅米饭，炒完之后你先放在这个塑料袋里边，然后用真空机压缩。或者你把塑料袋放在水里压缩之后，把空气压缩走，然后把这口封上，然后冻起来，这个能保持很长的时间，2个月没问题。Techniques of food preservation have had another effect. It is now possible to do some or most of the preparation and processing of food before shipping rather than in the food service operation itself. Thus, convenience foods have come into being. Convenience foods continue to account for an increasing share of the total food market. Convenient food 最简单就是方便面了，我觉得有的时候那个还是可以吃一下，包括那个冷冻的披萨，这些都应该算 convenience food。Some developments in food science and agriculture are controversial. In radiation, mentioned above caused much controversy when it was introduced because it exposes foods to radioactivity to rid them of organisms. 来我看一下啊 organisms that cause spoilage and disease. Scientists say, however, that no traces of radioactivity remain in the foods, and the procedure is now used more widely. 这就是说这个食品科学和这农业有的时候是那个相悖的，这个没办法，对吧？我们看一下下一段。A more controversial technique is genetic engineering, which involves artificially changing in the gene structure of a food to give it some desirable trait, such as resistance to disease, drought, or insect damage. 这个地方就是说这个基因，利用一些基因工程吧，去改善你这个食物。然后我们看最后一段，就是那个食品的安全问题了和营养问题。The development of the science of microbiology and nutrition had a great impact on food service. 100 years ago, there was little understanding of the causes of food poisoning and food spoilage. Food handling practices have come a long way since Escoffier's day. Also, little knowledge of nutritional principles was available until fairly recently. Today, nutrition is an important part of a cook's training. Customers are also more knowledgeable and therefore more likely to demand healthful, well-balanced menus. Unfortunately, nutrition science is consistently shifting. 这个地方就是说，现在的一些客户很讲究，好听点说叫很讲究，不好听点说叫很刁啊。就是说他很多东西不吃，然后他会说自己过敏啊什么的，就各种原因。所以基本上西餐厅除了那个连锁的快餐店，像麦当劳这种，其他所有餐厅，包括普通的快餐店、独立的快餐店，都会尽量去满足客户的这种要求。比如说他最简单就是吃素啊，吃素的话，像西餐里面有很多种，比如只吃素啊、纯吃素、只吃青菜叫 vegan， 然后剩下的还有只吃青菜和蛋的，只吃青菜和鱼肉的，只吃那个青菜、鱼肉和牛肉的，不吃猪肉的，等等各种各样的，还有不吃那个叫什么 gluten 的，就是那个就是面里面那个面筋的，这也不吃的，还有各种真的，比如说真的觉得那个过敏的，比如说芝麻啊，比如说那个有说蒜的，有说香菜的，很多的 peanut 就是最多的了。所以说这边在加拿大开餐厅的话，这种东西你这个厨师都得去承担，都得去想到。虽然说如果最后客户他比如说因为吃哪个东西过敏了，不是厨师的责任，但是你厨师在做饭的时候，你这个压力你必须得承担。我们继续看 ，diets considered healthy for 1 year become eating patterns to be avoided a few years later. Fad diets come and go, and chefs often struggled to keep their menus current. It's more important than ever for cooks to keep up to date with the latest nutritional understanding. Complicating the work of food service professionals is a growing awareness of food allergies and intolerance. Not only are chefs called upon to provide nutritious, low-fat, low-calorie meals, they must also adapt to the needs of customers who must eliminate certain foods from their diets, such as gluten, soy, dairy, or eggs. 今天就录到这儿了，因为这个比较长啊，时间比较长，而且真的是比较枯燥。因为我很多读的时候，我也觉得不很熟练，所以大家听的时候，除了听以外，还要自己去看。如果你真的很感兴趣的话，还要看。然后我们另外看一下，昨天我又把我这个东西简单的翻译了一下。如果就是你能看懂英文的话最好，如果看不懂英文的话，可以看我翻译的中文。这部分因为是我自己写的这个翻译，所以相对来说是比较准确的，是比较准确的。今天就到这儿，谢谢大家。